appreciate you joining us today. Coach, if you'd start us off here with just a comment about your team and being here in the Redbox Bowl, and then we'll go on to Coach Dantonio.
Well, just again, a tremendous honor and privilege to be here. I know our players are extremely excited for not only the opportunity that's been granted for us after the season that we had, that we feel really proud of, but to have the opportunity to play such a great program like Michigan State University, and appreciative and looking forward to all the many things that come with the bowl game, and just counting the days so we have an opportunity to get up here.
I just want to add on as well, great opportunity for our football program. Very excited to come to the San Francisco area, play a quality opponent. I think both programs have a national brand. You know, we played in 15 and then 14 and 15, and had great football games. And the winner of that game went on to the playoffs. So it was an exciting time, I think, for both programs. Again, excited about the opportunities, and our guys are very excited about coming out here and being a part of this. So we're going to compete.
All right, we'll at this time we'll open it up to questions. Just try and not talk over each other, and one at a time, and we'll go from there. Just state who your question's for, and then we'll go from there.
This question is for Coach Dantonio at Cristobal. Saw LJ Scott comment that he's going to leave for the NFL draft, but play in the Redbox Bowl game. I guess, what were the conversations you had with him, and what does that mean? Because it's when guys right now are abandoning bowl games that he is going to play in this one.
Well, I think it makes a statement, first of all, in terms of how he feels about our football team, but had conversations with him throughout. You know, he's only played in 4 games, so he could redshirt, but, you know, it sort of fluctuated back and forth in terms of what he was going to do. You know, actually excited that he's going to play, and he'll bring something. He's been a guy that's been out pretty much most of the season, so we'll look forward to his progress and his returning. But it's been all positive talk throughout the entire year.
Next.
Mark, this is Matt Wenzel with MLive. I know you mentioned, obviously, LJ made his declaration. Are there any other guys on the team that you have heard one way or the other, whether they're coming back or leaving for the NFL, and any guys you anticipate to sit out the bowl games who are healthy?
No, we're not going to talk about those things right now. I think some of that's an ongoing process, but we're going to focus on the Redbox Bowl in this press conference, and I'll deal with that when I'm at home.
Go ahead.
Jason Dumas, Crown Floor. Obviously, we're kind of a ways from East Lansing. What does just, playing out here, getting some exposure on the West Coast, obviously I'm sure you guys recruit nationally already, but just getting some exposure out on the West Coast and getting on this side of the country to play a bowl game, how does that help recruiting and just, the program profile in general?
Well, we have a big alumni base and a large contingent in Southern California and up here in the San Francisco Bay Area as well. So be exciting to get out here and be around those Spartans as well. As far as our footprint, as far as recruiting, we haven't recruited out here too much. It's sort of one and done when you get out here. It's a long way to go. So, but I'll leave those questions here to Coach over here on this side, recruiting. But we're very excited about coming out here. We've played in some great venues, and this city looks like one of them.
Coach, how about you? This is your backyard, obviously. We're not quite in Eugene, but I'm sure you have a lot of West Coast kids. Just how cool is it to stay over on this side of the country playing a nice bowl game and get that exposure and whatnot for your program?
Oh, without a doubt, this is for us. We kind of consider it the state of Oregon because of proximity, and so much of our roster has been built up through California recruiting, northern and southern. So, really excited for the families to come on out. They certainly come up for the games, and to be able to come back this way and have them come out and support us, it's a really big deal. Our alumni base here is tremendous and very large. So, we expect a strong support shown by our people, and we know the amount of pride that they carry and the pride that we have for them and of them. So for us, obviously, again, a tremendous opportunity.
Have any other questions on the line on the conference call?
Mario, this is James from Oregonian. Just wanted to ask about the impact the plans on offensive line with Capper announcing his transfer.
Well, you know what? We certainly want guys to pursue opportunities somewhere else if it doesn't quite work out for them at our place. with us, with regaining Panay Sewell's health and Stephen Jones getting healthy again, Alex Forsythe doing the great job that he did in our last game, and the way Dallas has come on and gotten healthy, we feel real strong about our offensive line.
Next on the call.
Yeah, this is Matt Wenzel with I'm Live Again. Questions for both coaches now that you've had the better part of a week to watch film on the other opponent. I know you're out busy recruiting, but what have you guys picked up about each other's teams that has really stood out?
We were just going to sit here and exchange information for the next half hour because we haven't had a chance to. I speaking for on our side, the amount of work that we've done is I wouldn't say it's minimal, but it's not extensive. So there is a base understanding, and what I can say and what I've been watching as between plane rides is that the same thing we had mentioned a few days ago is the fact that Michigan State plays a physical and aggressive brand of football, very disciplined, explosive players at the playmaking position. So we understand the challenges ahead of us. In terms of scheme and matchups and whatnot, it would take another week or so until we get back in the office and really analyze it, but we certainly recognize and respect our opponent.
Yeah, I would say very much the same. I've had a 5-hour flight out here, so I spent a lot of time watching film. Obviously we're doing a lot of things behind the scenes back at the office, and we'll get on to those things here early this next week and as the weekends go. But been very impressed what I've seen in terms of their skill players. They've always have good skill out there. Outstanding quarterback. Defensively, going to play extremely hard. Play out of a 3-4, front. But outstanding football team, and they're right there, much like our football team. You can look at the games that they've played and get an opportunity to win every one of them. So should be a great game and a great matchup.
Next on the call.
This is James from the Oregonian again. A question for Coach Dantonio. Mark, Mario has talked about getting a PhD in coaching during his time at Alabama under Nick Saban. Obviously, he worked under Nick many years ago and worked with Bobby Williams as well at Michigan State. Can you speak a little bit about how formative those years were for you in your career, working under Saban and also working with Bobby Williams and that connection in this game in particular?
Sure. I was Coach Saban's defensive back coach for 5 years, and the basis of what I know defensively really comes from all the coaches I've worked with, but I think he's had the most dramatic impact on me as a defensive coach. Worked for Bobby as well when Bobby became the head coach, and worked with Bobby throughout. Actually coached Bobby when he was a player at Purdue when I was a GA there. So our relationship goes way back, and he's an outstanding football coach, recruiter, and outstanding person. So it'll be great to see him as well.
I have a question for Mario. This is Ryan Thorburn with the Register Guard in Eugene. Mario, I know postseason awards aren't everything, but were you a little disappointed that Calvin Throckmorton and a couple of your other guys that you've bragged about this year weren't selected to the first team all Pac-12, and some of them not the second team?
Well, certainly surprised by it. I think we all know the caliber of player that Calvin is and a couple other guys are, but again, that's something that the focus has to be on making sure that at the next opportunity that you leave no doubt instead of focusing on the fact that it wasn't recognized in that respect. It's been recognized in many other ways, and certainly a guy that we value as much as anybody else. So super proud of him and what he's accomplished so far. And I think we're just seeing his best football is still ahead of him, and I think we'll see a lot of it.
This is Matt Wenzel with I'm Live Again. Question for Mark. But Urban Meyer announcing his retirement this week. I was just wondering where your thoughts were on that, and you look back on some of those games you guys had, and obviously some of the bigger wins you've had in your career against them. And John, the fact that you're the only Big Ten coach to beat them twice, and the success they've had, and maybe how that impacts them moving forward.
Well, seeing how he's been there 7 years, that sort of says it all, But he's an outstanding football coach. I think that people need to recognize that coaching at this level is very difficult and wears on you at some points in time. So, want to first of all congratulate him on the success that he's had, and wish him the best in his next endeavors. But it's an outstanding program, and they've had tremendous success. And when I sit there and talk to our our people on the flight out, and you can name the games that they have lost on two hands. That's unbelievable. So he's had tremendous success there. I want to congratulate him on that.
Mario's Cristobal again. This is Free Press. I wanted to ask you about your ties with Nick Saban and coaching under him, and how much do you think that there's a shared philosophy that maybe some of the assistants who have passed through his tree kind of have about football?
I think there's a lot. I think the parallels of the programs run by guys that worked for him or under that tree are you'll see it. There's a lot of similarities. I mean, I can speak for myself, and I think I played for a coach and Jimmy Johnson and Dennis Erickson that shared the same type of philosophies and values. Very similar blueprint in terms of the offseason, practice regimentation, everything that goes with it, the offseason program. So I think you're seeing that blueprint just carried over to different places with little tweaks here and there. Of course, everyone has their own style, but I think it's something that, for what it's worth, it has stood the test of time, right, over the course of many decades. And I think it's something that, a lot of guys have invested time into and feel comfortable in carrying out. And certainly it's something that we have carried over to the University of Oregon.
Coach Cristobal, I have a question for you. Bree Morancis from NBC Sports Northwest. Your 2019 football schedule was released. I'm curious what you think about the 14-week schedule, having 2 byes, and then, of course, so far away. But is there anything that you just circled in red right immediately?
Well, I think you circle them all in red. That's the best way to put it. But I think that's something you put off to the side right now. The most important game for us is this opportunity that we have coming right here at the Redbox Bowl, and the reason I say that is both teams have so much to play for, and 2 very proud conferences, and the chance to be able to play, on the 31st is a huge thing. Of course, we have seen the schedule, but it's something that once the season is over, that we'll attend to right away. And having 2 bye weeks and a 14-week schedule is a little bit different. But for me, I really I'm kind of boring. I have nothing else to do. So if the season went 24 weeks, I'd be fine with that as well.
Question for Dantonio. This is Stephen Brooks with 24/7. Mark, I was curious, going to the second go-around here with the early planning period, I was wondering if it's that you guys have learned or changed from sort of a program infrastructure standpoint just to better manage the timeline of recruiting, the bowl game, all of that.
Well, it puts that emphasis on this part of the year for sure. There's no question about that. But it was very smooth for us last year from our standpoint, and I expect the same to be true this year. These recruiting has become very accelerated, so most of our players have been committed for a very long time, and we expect for all of them to sign on the 19th. So it's been a good thing for us. I think it takes some people off the table and allows them to move into the next phase of their life.
And then just one follow-up on LJ. Is he on track to graduate, or what's his degree status?
Yeah, he's on track to graduate. He would probably need one more semester, which would be this first semester of his 5th year, but he's done well.
Thank you.
Coach Cristobal, have you been informed of anybody who might not participate in the bowl game?
Have not, and we're proceeding as if everyone is playing. Should something of like that nature arise, we'll address it immediately. And I think our stance is clear on that, and it's not in a bad way. It's just that we want the guys that are at the bowl are guys that are going to play. If that situation does arise, then we'll certainly respect that decision. But at the same time, that decision also comes with not being a part of the bowl experience as well. So either way, as it does come, if it does come our way, we'll certainly bring that to the attention of the media so that there's clarity in terms of the roster and participation.
This is James from Oregon again. Coach Dantonio, Coach Cristobal, about how much the Arizona State game will serve as a reference point for the Oregon staff and reviewing you folks. It's a similar question to you, since it's odd to have a common opponent later in Oregon season. How much will looking at that Arizona State game serve as that much more of a relevant point and reference point for you folks as you review Oregon heading into this game?
Well, I think first of all, we got a deep respect for everybody that they're playing. We understand the quality of football that's played in the Pac-12 and can appreciate that. So every single football team that they have played we'll look at extensively, and a lot of it will be, like usually look at teams that sort of are the same as you to some degree and try and sort of format different ideas from there. But we'll take into consideration Arizona State and what went on in our game relative to what went on in their game. Both very close football games. Coach has done an outstanding job down there.
Anything final on the line?
Yeah, this is Matt Lenz with M Live again. This question's for Mark again. As far as LJ, with him getting hurt in the second game of the year, and kind of only playing 2 more games after that, does the time off give you an opportunity to use them and maybe in ways that you weren't able to at full health for pretty much most of the season?
Yeah, he's been practicing intermittently because we were sort of on the edge of whether to play or not. So he has been practicing, working out. So. And we've got time right now, so we've got time for him to get himself ready to go. And again, it'll be a tremendous challenge for him and for everybody else involved here versus Oregon.
Anything final on the line?
I have one more question, if that's all right.
Sure thing.
I was just curious, since both of you guys have participated in the college football playoff, and there's so much focus on that all season long, how do you think that's affected other bowl games like the Redbox Bowl?
Well, I think first of all, there's only 4 teams that can get there, and while most of the continent or the United States of America feels like that's all there is to it, I mean, there's a lot of other good football teams out there that are very excited to go play in other venues. I think bowl games are about life experiences and about challenges and trying to move your program forward for the next phase, for the next year. So our guys are very excited to come and play. Be a great challenge, as I said earlier in the opening statement, and we're looking forward to the competition.
Yes, I couldn't agree more with Coach. I think if we played football 365 a year, I think everyone would be watching as it is. And I know it's a 4-team playoff, but the way, and particularly, the Redbox Bowl, the way that the matchups have been created, I think that there are some incredible football games, some great matchups to be watching. That's going to provide everyone throughout the holiday season some tremendous opportunities to watch great football. So I know we're excited about it, and I know we're going to bring a lot of excitement to the area and the game itself. So I'm all about it.
Any other questions on the call? If not, we'll end the teleconference portion of the press conference and move to here in the room. Thank you all for your time, and we will talk to you again soon.
All right. Thank you. I'd like to ask a question of both of you. I'm Tom Fitzgerald from the San Francisco Chronicle. As a follow-up to that last question, how do you you both feel about the possibility of an 8-team playoff, and do you think that would be a good thing? Neither of your conferences got involved in the college football playoff Final Four this year. So how do you feel about that?
I guess personally, I think that every champion should be represented. So every champion of a major college, these of our Power 5 conferences should be represented. It's very difficult because some people get left out in this, and there's some other great football teams. UCF hasn't lost for 2 years, so it's difficult to probably manage it. But a lot of good football teams in the nation, and you can't have a misstep. So if you do, probably you're out. But I would probably say that regardless of what I say, really I'm not making those decisions. So we just play the game to line them up.
It'd be great if it was expanded. I know I don't have the exact formula or model to that. But what a 4-team playoff does, it makes essentially every single game of the year a playoff game, right? In terms of trying to achieve enough of a resume to qualify for that 1 through 4 spot. So, but I know that at the end of the day, you do have to pick and choose who's in there. And it's still a game that has to be won or lost on the football field. So I think everyone would like to see it expand a little bit. How and why that would be done is difficult to say. I wouldn't have that answer.
If they did, well, for both of you, if they did go to an 8-team playoff, would you be in favor of them taking out the conference championships and using that week for the first round?
You know, right after signing day, I'll give that some deep thought. Right now, I know Coach and myself, I'm sure we're just grinding on trying to get through that first signing period, be able to watch enough film to evaluate. You know, from a schematic standpoint, we can give our teams the best chance for success on game day. But it's certainly a lot to think about, and you make a valid point. It's certainly worth considering. I just have not given it that deep of a thought yet.
I think there's probably a lot of models that you could look at. It would certainly be something to think about because, again, it's an interesting point. It's tough when you have two great football teams playing out of one conference and one's eliminated, and then, what happened this past weekend. But a lot of good football teams, tough to win, very hard to win in any game. So a lot of good coaches, a lot of good players, extremely competitive, and obviously you could open up to 8, you could open up further, like the NFL, but there's a lot to do with that. There's, in terms of everything that's going on with the student athlete welfare and all those type of things. So again, I'm just a guy trying to line them up.
On the subject of I know you guys are sick of talking about injuries because you both had plenty of them, especially you, Mark, probably. But how do things stand in that respect going into this Redbox Bowl for your key players? Are there any guys who are on the edge about whether they can play or not?
Yeah, we're going to get all our guys back with the exception of guys that we've lost for the season, and that would be like Felton Davis and our punter and those type of things. So the majority of our players are back and healthy, and we've got to be able to move forward.
Likewise, we expect the majority of the guys back. The one that was in question was our linebacker, Lana Apelu, and he's on track to be back as well and to be full go by the time we resume practices in a few days. So, but Panay will be back, Cyrus will be back, Stephen Jones, Jalen Jelks, all those guys we expect to be back to full speed.
The Redbox Bowl at Levi Stadium, obviously the national championship's going to be there. The Super Bowl's been there. They've even hosted the WrestleMania. So, what are your impressions on the venue? Obviously, it's a large venue and a great place for a game.
Yeah, well, I think everyone recognizes what a great venue it is and what a prominent place it is. So, we wanted to make sure that because of the conference matchups, that we put our best foot forward and represent the right way. Our guys are super excited about it. I can't emphasize that enough. And I think anytime you walk into a venue of that magnitude, that it hits you and it hits you hard and it brings out the best in you, and we expect that to happen.
Really the same. Our guys are very excited about playing in the venue, and they have not played there or been to it. Like I said, they haven't been out this way, but they understand the bigness of that. And as I said earlier, coming out here, being a part of San Francisco Bay Area, and then also playing in the stadium, it all sort of lines up for us. So we're very, very excited about it. Quality opponent, national brand, a lot of Spartans out here. You can bet the place is going to be green, I guess. I didn't wear my green tie, but that's about it. But so it'll be an exciting atmosphere.
This is for both of you. You kind of just touched on it now. Obviously, in these bowl games, you can get matched up with anyone, but these two programs are two nationally known, nationally respected brands. And I'm sure your players probably can speak onto this more, but how excited is it to play another national brand? And it's like a very intriguing matchup, so to speak.
Yeah, as I said earlier, we got a little bit of history having played in 14 and 15, different staff, but played the brand. And it was a national game. Both those games were national games, nationally televised. Same with this one. Fox will do a great job. The Redbox Bowl will do an outstanding job as well. And we've got things planned to make this a life moment for our football program. It all centers around winning at the end. I think the time that we're playing, the time slot that we're playing on New Year's Eve is exciting as well. There'll be a lot of people watching it. And so everything lines up to being a great football game, and that's what bowl games should be.
Anything final?
Oh, that was well said. There's not much to add to that. It is exactly that right there. It's two national brands matched up at the perfect time when everybody's watching on national television. So our players, when the bowl was announced and the opponent was announced, I mean, there was right away an immediate recognition. It's like, hey, preparation has to be at its very best to give ourselves the best chance, recognizing and respecting the caliber of opponent that we're playing. So, and I think that's the kind of games that everybody wants to watch, and it's why you play college football, to always give yourself a chance to be tested against the very best. So this game will bring out the best in everybody. We're looking forward to a great football game.